Isn't that a thing of beauty? I can smell it all the way over here.
Yeah. Siege. Riley. Taz. Yeah.
Oh, it's been weeks since I've opened a can of beer. If you've been following our little series of reviews on non-alcoholic and low alcohol beers, then you might have noticed a theme, and that was that so far not an ounce of alcohol has been consumed, which is weird because when I do drink those beers for those non-alcoholic reviews, I come away feeling completely rat-assed. I don't know why, it's psychological. I often film like 2 or 3 in a row, you drink 2/3 of each one, and woo, there you go. Anyway, I'm James, this is Meatster. We're essentially a food channel, but we like to bring a bit of fun too, so not that food's not fun, but you know what I mean. I've got here the first alcoholic beer to tempt me to review it, and this is a pretty cool one. This is Wildcard Brewery's Table Beer, and it is a 2.7% beer, so definitely falls within our low alcohol category, which we're considering up to 4%. And oh, I'm dead excited for this. Let's go for it. As it's a special occasion, let's posh it up. Why not? So, oh, honestly, it's a dream pouring this. This is going to be a fun one. Cheers, guys. Right, let's get into it. If this is the first time you've seen one of our beer reviews, we have 4 categories. We give a mark out of 10 for each one. That's the aroma, the flavour, the mouthfeel, and the finish. How long does the finish last? Well, look at that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? I can smell it all the way over here. It's got, oh, look, alcohol clearly plays a part in something in the beer. It's going to give it more volatility, it's going to give it more mouthfeel. So I'm going to be a little bit harsher with the ones that have alcohol, in the sense that I want to be fair with non-alcoholic beers. They have a disadvantage, and let them be their own category. Okay, so we're back to the drawing board with this one. Right, aroma. Oh, passion fruit. I mean, literally, if you cut a passion fruit in half and stick the end on your nose, that's what you'd have. Stunning. And a little bit of mango. That is delicious. It's not too floral. I really like that. It's not a, well, I say it's not a massive smell. It's a very specific smell. It goes a long way. So, on aroma, it's an 8 out of 10, guys. Delicious. Well, stunning, let's say. Right, on to the flavour. Well, unsurprisingly, it tastes of passion fruit. If you've ever had a Rubicon passion fruit juice, actually, it reminds me of that. It has some bitterness. It's definitely more in that high flavour, if that makes any sense, realm. You know, the flavours are very high up on the palate, quite sweet. It's nice how the balance of the bitterness and the fruit work together. So it's not nauseating, it's not too strong of a flavour. I'm going to say that the flavour though is a slight letdown on the aroma. A 6.5 out of 10. Alright, mouthfeel. So, you would automatically assume that an alcoholic beer will have a better mouthfeel. I mean, it has to have a bigger mouthfeel. I'm quite surprised at how relatively thin this is, but that's because stepping back into the alcohol world, and you expect, you know, more from it perhaps, but this is still low alcohol, let's not forget. It's not massive. It coats your mouth for just a second, and then it starts to dissipate. And Actually, for my personal taste, I like that because too much hoppy flavour and too much that, you know, fills your mouth and explodes and lingers, it might get a bit nauseating for me. But anyway, this is a 6.5 out of 10. It's pretty darn good. Right, let's get on to the finish. Starts off very bright. The mouthfeel is not that thick and rich, but it's definitely slightly different from the non-alcoholic ones. It can't have such a watery finish because the alcohol is aiding it to just coat your mouth a bit. It'll have more calories. But as you get to the end, it really gets consumed by its own bitterness. It's not a very, very bitter flavour, but you lose a lot of everything else apart from the bitterness. So I'm going to give it 6.5 out of 10 on the finish. Is it a bit too much style over substance? Perhaps. That can of beer was £4.50. In my mind, it's a bit too much for a can of beer like this, although the can's pretty cool. In fact, it's so cool that I once ripped off one of the labels, stuck it on the back of my phone. That'll come off soon, I'm sure. Anyway guys, thanks for watching our first low alcohol beer review. I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.